So you're having a baby, but you're on a little bit of a budget. You don't want to spend an absolute bomb. I'm here for you, and I've made a video of all the things you need for a newborn baby, all under £300. Let's go. Hey guys, my name is Ree. If you're new here, then welcome. If you're coming back, then thank you so much. This video I'm going to talk you through how to prepare for a newborn baby, especially if you are on a budget. So I will go into some things that you don't need in the first 3 months. Those things could maybe wait for a later paycheck. Hear me out and let's get into it. So I'm going to separate all of these items into sections, and the first section is going to be sleep. So we've got a Moses basket, because obviously when you have a newborn, the baby needs to be in every single room with you. My advice would be get a Moses basket with 2 stands. Have this one stand in the bedroom, one stand in the living room or wherever you are. When the baby is sleeping, you can literally just pick them up. You don't have to take them out. Pick them up in the Moses basket, because most of them have handles. Take the baby from each room, and then that's all you need. And Moses baskets you can pick up so cheaply. They're so much cheaper than the next to me cribs. Definitely get a Moses basket with handles, with linen inside it so it's not scratchy, it's not uncomfortable. But I found one on George. I will ping it right here next to me for you guys. It's £36 and it comes with a stand, and then it's just another £17 to add an extra stand, just so you can easily transport the baby from each room that you're going into. So Moses basket is definitely #1 on my list of what you need for a newborn. So next up, I've got something that I think you do not need for a newborn, that I feel everyone kind of just gets roped into buying when you're buying all of this stuff for this baby to come, is a baby monitor / camera. So hear me out, you definitely need this when you start leaving your baby in a different room. But it says on the Lullaby Trust that you should not leave your baby, so why would you need a camera? I don't get it. And they are so expensive. They can range from like 20 quid to like 200 quid for like the top brand ones. And it's like you're already buying all of this stuff before you have a newborn baby, and then you're adding this camera on which you're not going to use for months. So save that baby monitor purchase for a later payday. So next up, we've got a white noise machine. So when I was pregnant with my baby, I saw this a lot and I just was so clueless. Like, I did not know, why does a baby need a white noise machine? Like, why does that work? I didn't get it. And I learned very quickly that get a white noise machine. They are amazing at keeping the baby asleep. I think they range from about £25 on average. I know you can get cheaper ones. You can get this little ones that just attaches to the crib or wherever the baby is sleeping, and it just plays simple white noise. You can even go even cheaper with this, and you can just use your phone. So you can easily just go onto YouTube and type in white noise for sleeping babies, and there's loads on there that do not show ads, so it's not going to wake your baby up with an advert in between, which would be really annoying, and displays white noise. The one that we have is a little bit on the pricier side of the white noise machines. I think it's called Uwin the Sheep. So I don't think personally we would have bought this one, but my nan bought this white noise machine for us. It was £40 because we got the Dulux Uwin the Sheep version. And I think what the Dulux one does is that you can do a detector where you hold the button down and it bleeps, and then it will detect whether they hear the baby moving about or waking up in the night, and then it will shush the baby back to sleep, which is amazing. I think especially when you have a newborn, the newborn is always going to be in the room with you. You're not going to always just be sat down making no noise. You're going to have the TV on, or you're going to be doing the dishes, and the white noise just kind of cancels out all of that background noise that could maybe wake up the baby, which is really good. But the Uwin the Sheep that we have, it has loads of different sounds. So it's got shushing sound, it's got the heartbeat, which is supposed to replicate the baby being in the womb, so it comforts a newborn. It's got like a lullaby song on there. Like, it's really good. So definitely white noise machine to help you with those nap times. So next I would recommend 2 cellular blankets. So these are the blankets that have the really small holes in them, not the knitted ones, they just have tiny little holes. And I think this is supposed to create a safe sleeping environment for the baby when they're sleeping, prevent the baby from suffocating if it goes over the head, because they'll have the small holes in there to breathe through. My midwife did say that these blankets are fine to use in a baby in a Moses basket if you tuck the sides, so it's all nice and tight, no like loose blankets, but you tuck it round the bottom of the mattress just for safe sleeping. I would recommend not buying a swaddle until you've met your baby. I tried swaddling my baby and she hated it. So maybe just meet your baby first, swaddle them up in a blanket, see how they are with it. If they sleep better, then definitely go out and buy a swaddle. And even if you end up just swaddling your baby, these blankets are never going to be a waste of money because you are always going to be using them in the pram, when your baby's going in the car seat, they're always going to be useful. So I found on the Tesco website, Fred and Flo is their range, and you can get a cellular blanket for a £5, so that is just £10 for these blankets. So next up, I've got one you really need to remember to buy, is 3 mattress sheets. So babies poop and sleep and spit up a lot, so they're going to be going through these mattress sheets. Obviously this depends how often you do your laundry, which I am guessing probably isn't going to be as much as you normally do now because you're going to be having a newborn baby and life is just going to be a little bit different to it was just for a few weeks, getting the grips of everything. You're not going to be focusing on the laundry as much, so I definitely recommend 3. I think that would be enough to get you through the week without having to do laundry like every single day. But this also does depend if you have a very sicky, refluxy baby or not. I suppose you might need to double this if you do have a very sicky baby. So these are pretty cheap. I found on George Asda. I think George Asda is mentioned a lot in this video, but yeah, they sell cheap products, so that's why I found them. We've also got on here is a waterproof mattress cover, which I'd say is very important because like I said in the previous one, babies poop and spit a lot. So I found this one on, yeah, you guessed it, George, for £4. So at the end of each section, I also have an optional option for you guys. I wouldn't say they are essential products that you will 100% need for a newborn. They are just things that made my life a little bit easier. So on here, I've put sling. So you can get one on Amazon for just $21.98, I think it was when I last checked, and I'll pop it by here. I did get a little bit of a pricier one because I got it as a gift, but I got the free rider one, which was a godsend when Nia was a newborn. I think it just really comforts them because they're so used to being inside your belly for 9 months. So they want to be close to you, they want to sleep all the time, and you also need to get stuff done, so you can't be constantly just cuddling them on the sofa. It's great to get some washing done, and also it would soothe her to sleep really well. So I couldn't have lived without my sling. So next we go on to clothing. These are the essential clothing items that you'll definitely need for a newborn. This isn't including all those cutie outfits that you're clearly gonna have. So first off, I've got 5 to 7 baby vests, baby grows, and I found a pack of 5 from MUSLIN for £8. And next up, I've got 5 to 7 sleep suits. I found a 5-pack from George Asda for just £12. So this, like before, will obviously depend on how often you do your laundry. If you have a sicky baby as well, you may be changing them a lot. But I'd say the general amount, I'd say, is 5 to 7 sleep suits, just so they have one every single day and you can do the washing in between. But you could be watching this and screaming in your head, that is not enough. I needed way more than that. But the general rule in my head is to buy the bare minimum, and then if you need more, you can buy more. And to be fair, like, I dressed Nia in really cute dresses when she was a newborn because I wanted to, and they were pretty, but they were definitely not essential. So next I've got an item that I don't think you need to buy is scratch mitts. So when you buy your sleep suits, a lot of the sleep suits have fold over kind of scratch mitts at the end of the arms anyway. We bought so many scratch mitts and Nia just did not even wear them, and when she did wear them they just fell off all the time. They were they're very cheap anyway, but they were definitely just a small product of everything that we bought that we hardly used and was definitely a waste of money. So next up, I've got 3 newborn hats. These are definitely essential when you are in the hospital. They will always pop a hat on their little heads. Next up, we've got muslin cloths. These are a godsend. I'd say you need about 3. And obviously, again, this depends on how sicky your baby is. But for a general baby that is sick now and again, when you are feeding them, I'd say 3 would be enough. And I found a free pack of muslins from Matalan for £4. So next we've got bibs. So just like the muslin cloths, these are really important because you're going to need them to put them on the baby when you're feeding them. I'd say 5 would be enough, obviously depending on how sicky your baby is, but 5 I'd say is more than enough for the newborn stage because you'll be using the muslin cloths a lot as well. But 5 bibs, and I found a pack from Matalan for £5.50, so check that out. So the next one is optional because, like I said before, I feel like the sleep suits are the main essential clothing item that you need for a newborn. But if you do want to change your baby, that seems like something that's not pajamas. If you're going out shopping or traveling to visit family with the baby, I'd say these are really great value for money, and they're from H&M. You get a 3-piece set. They look cute and they're really, really easy to put on and off for a baby, and they're really, really comfortable. And then we have socks, and I've got a pack from Tesco for £3.50. And that's the end with clothes, but I will add on the end here, if you are on a major tight budget, is to visit Vinted on your phone. It's an app where people sell and reuse clothes, so you can definitely type in baby clothes bundle and they just have a load of like clothes people are selling, and definitely save a lot of money on there. And also, don't underestimate the families and the friends giving you the presents. You're always going to get loads of clothes bought for your baby. So next we go on to feeding. So if you are planning on breastfeeding your baby, if you are planning on using formula and bottle feeding your baby, these are different options that you can pick. Obviously you can supplement them in price range for one for the other. So these items I am going to mention now are for bottle fed babies, and then after I'll go on to breastfeeding. So number 1, I've got the MAM bottles. I've gone through a few brands of bottles and these were definitely my favourite. So you've got to make sure you get the MAM ANTI-COLIC bottles. And on this list, I've got the MAM ANTI-COLIC starter pack because I think it's the best value for money because you get the small bottles in there and you also get the big bottles which the baby can use later on and you don't have to go and buy them. And they are definitely really, really good for colic. This is sold in so many different shops. It seems to be the same price in all of them, which is £43 from Argos, Mamas and Papas, Boots, Asda. And what is great about these bottles is that they're self-sterilising, so you don't need to go out and buy a big massive appliance to fill up your kitchen counter. You put them all together and you put a little bit of water at the bottom and you can put them in the microwave, and you do not need to buy any steriliser for them because they sterilise themselves. Then next we've got 2 soothers slash dummies slash pacifiers, whatever you call them, and I found a really good pack from Boots. The MAM ones are really good for newborns because they do have really, really small teats and they're really, really flat as well, which is really good for their mouth when they're sucking. And also they come in a little pot, which is a sterilising pot, so you can just sterilise the dummies in there. And then we've got an optional item at the end here, which is a TOMMEE TIPPEE prep machine. I love this item. Like, I actually couldn't live without it because I know you're not supposed to pre-make the bottles anymore. So a lot of people back in the day would always pre-make all of the formula bottles, keep them in the fridge and then warm them up. I know like that is not allowed anymore, so you need to make the bottle and use it straight away. So the perfect prep machine is really, really good. It gives you a hot shot which takes all the bacteria out of the formula. You give that a little shake and then you press it again, and then it fills the bottle up to the right amount of formula that you needed to give your baby, and it is the perfect temperature for them. When you're feeding your newborn baby formula, if you are formula feeding, sorry, and you're feeding your baby early hours in the morning and you're getting up every 2 hours, it it makes life so much easier. But that is optional. It's obviously not something that's essential if you are on a budget. And also, don't forget to buy the formula. So you can buy all these things and you'll forget to buy the pack of formula. Obviously, I'm not going to add this in the list with pricing. People have a lot of different opinions on what they want to feed their babies, what formula is good, what's in them and whatnot. So I'll leave that to you guys to decide on the formula that you give your baby. And then at the end, I will add, if you are breastfeeding, you do not need anything. You just need your boob. Obviously, you might want to get a breast pump, and I know there's a lot on the market. I did get this breast pump from Amazon and I didn't really rate it. It was really good when I first bought it, but it lost its power quite quickly and it wasn't suctioning very well near the end, so I wouldn't recommend buying this one. I did use the Medela one in the hospital and that was really good one, but I know they're quite expensive as well, and I will link one here which I've heard is a really good one. So next up we go on to the section which is changing. So first off, I've got 2 wicker baskets, and I know you can get these really cheaply from places like Home Bargains. I think they're about £3. This will just cost you £6. I'm going to go with the general idea that you have a 2-story house because that's what most people have. So you're going to want a changing station on each floor, and I think the little wicker baskets, they're really small, you can fit them in the corner, and they're really cheap and easy just to stock up all the nappies, the wipes, the SUDOCREAM that you need in there with the mat. And then we've got 2 changing mats. I know you can get a 2-pack from John Lewis, the Any Day range, for just £12 for both of them. I'd say put one in your bedroom so you'll use that in the night, and obviously when you're upstairs for any other reason, and put one in the living room downstairs or any downstairs room just so it's quick and easy. You don't have to be walking up and down the stairs to change your baby. The next up, the obvious one, we've got nappies. I'd recommend getting the little ones by Sainsbury's. They are price matched to Aldi, which are like the cheapest nappies you can buy. So I think they're only 86p for a pack. So I definitely recommend getting them nappies. Then we've got SUDOCREAM / a barrier cream. You're going to need to protect that baby's skin because it's so sensitive and they're going to be pooping and peeing a lot and irritating their bums. So definitely get like a SUDOCREAM or a barrier cream. They range from about £4 depending on what size one that you buy and what supermarket you buy them from. But SUDOCREAM for my little girl always worked a treat. And actually, to be honest, my baby is 7 months now. I'm still using all the same 3 and they're like the standard sized pots, so they last ages. Next up, we've got water wipes, which are great. They're really easy and convenient. They are a little bit cold, so I know some babies don't like the coldness, so you might just want to use cotton wool instead. So just use cotton wool and hot water. So that's an option, or you can just get the water wipes. These really range in what brand you buy with the pricing. So I know you can get like a pack for 60p, then you can get a pack for like £2.25. So at the end of this section, I've got an optional item, which is a nappy bin. So I'd recommend the TOMMEE TIPPEE nappy bin. It's about £21 from Smith's Toys. I know you can get it from Tesco and Asda as well. But at first, I didn't feel like this was essential for a newborn. So you can definitely get this at a later date if you are on a tight budget and you can't afford it. Just use a regular bin because newborn babies' poo just doesn't smell. All they're drinking is the formula and your breast milk. So they don't tend to, it smells a bit fruity. Like, it doesn't actually smell bad. It doesn't stink out a room or anything. So if you are on a budget, then just get a like tiny little bin. We didn't get this bin until my baby started eating solids. And yeah, her poos were stinking out the room in that bin. I was like, oh my God, we need to get a different bin. But this bin's really good. You pop it in and you push it down. You can spin the bin bag in it and it kind of contains the smell. It is really strange when you take it out though. They're kind of all wrapped up in these little balls, but you can just put that in the bin. So next up, we've got the section which is play. So newborns, even though they sleep a lot, they're definitely going to want to be stimulated, and they're quite easy to stimulate because they're very simple with what you need to do with them. So this section is quite small. So first up, we've got stimulation cards, black and white play cards. These are great for newborns because they have very blurry vision when they're first born, and they really like to see high contrast black and white images. And I know that in the UK you can get these for free from your health visitor when they come visit you, so that's amazing. You get a free book, and there is a really cute one. You can use it in tummy time play as well, so when you're putting your baby on their front to practice their neck strength and their back strength, they can look at these images and it encourages them to look up. If you didn't get one from your health visitor, you can also get some playing cards from Amazon, which look really good. They're not too expensive and they do the same sort of job. So next up, I've got a baby swing slash bouncer slash rocker. So there are so many on the market of these that you can buy. I'd highly recommend going on Facebook Market, buying one second hand, seeing if your baby likes it. If they do, great. If they don't, you can resell it on Facebook Market for the price that you just bought it from. Because as soon as you buy that item new, it's a baby product. When you resell it, you ain't getting a lot back for it. And some of these items, so expensive. I think they can range from like £17 to £200 for these really bougie rockers that apparently rock your newborn to sleep and make your life easier. We got a swing for my little girl and she hated it, but luckily we did get that on Facebook Market, so we just resold it on. We got the Joey Wish vibrating bouncer instead, and she loved that. She loved the vibrating movement. It bounced a little bit but not too much, and it was just a safe space to put her in. But the Joey one that we had, I think originally it's like 50 quid, but we got it for 20 on the Facebook Market, which was amazing. But I have found one which is just a standard bouncer if you're on a budget. And then next on the things I just think you just don't need is a tummy time pillow. So we got this Mamas and Papas circle tummy time pillow. It's great, but it's a bit like, I just don't think you need it. Like, you can literally just put your baby on one of the cushions that you have from your sofa in the living room. You do not need to go and buy an expensive tummy time pillow for your baby. Just use the cushion from the sofa. So then we go on to our last section, which is So the first item in this section is going to be a baby bath or a bath seat. You can get all different ones, and these range from £12 to £30. 12 being the cheapest, and that was a simple baby bath. So this obviously just depends on what sort of house that you have. So when you're first washing your baby, you're not going to want to use any harsh sponges because their skin is so delicate. What they do not tell you before you have a baby as well is that newborns peel, like their whole skin. They're like a snake. They shed all of their skin. so you're not going to want to scrub it with a sponge. I'd recommend just using simple cotton wool to wash your baby, or a soft flannel, but cotton wool will do the job. You can grab a big pack of these for like £1 in supermarkets. So next I've got an item that you do not need in your big bulk of buying for a newborn, and that is baby bath soap. So the bottles of all of like the baby lotion that you can use in the bath, all the creams, all the, you know, the shampoos and conditioners and the soaps for all the babies and the baby range, do not need to use these. So it does state on the NHS website that in the first 4 to 6 weeks of your baby's life, just use plain water. Like I said in the previous one, your baby's skin is so sensitive and you don't want to risk any reactions, and simple plain water is fine for them for now. Then next up we've got a baby thermometer, which is really good. So you can get waterproof ones that you can pop in the bath and you can check the temperature of the water. The reason I put this as an essential, because I know that you can just like use a sensitive part of your body like your elbow or your wrist. When you're a new parent, I do think it's very hard to kind of know what's right for your newborn. You really just wouldn't want to burn them, so I'd really recommend getting a baby thermometer, and you can get these on Amazon. They range from £4 to £15 depending on which sort of thermometer you want to get for your baby. So then next I've got 3 little hooded towels for your baby after bath time. Obviously you can just use any normal towel to bath your baby if you're going on super budget mode and you really don't want to purchase these hooded towels, but I do recommend they are really good for your baby. The next up, I've got this little grooming kit from TOMMEE TIPPEE. Purchased this from Amazon. It just has everything in there that you need. So like it has like a thermometer, which is probably, you know, you really need a thermometer for your baby because you need to check them if you think they seem like they're ill. You don't want them to have a temperature. But that is everything under £300. So if you're on a budget, then that is what you need for your newborn. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative. I obviously didn't add in a pram or a car seat. I don't know if you want to buy a travel system or just a pram. If you have another child, they need to get a double pram. There's so many elements to that I could not involve into this video. So I'll leave that to you guys to pick your car seat and your pram. So yeah, that's it for the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you in the next one. So bye guys.